In a small, fog-covered town nestled between dark, towering mountains, there was a legend. Locals called it the Midnight Visitor. They said that once you crossed paths with it, you were never the same. This wasn't a creature you could escape from. It wasn't bound by walls or doors or windows. If it wanted you, it found you. And for some reason, it always came at exactly 3:50 a.m. Our story begins with Sam, a skeptic and thrill-seeker who didn't believe in ghost stories. He had just moved into a centuries-old house on the edge of town, rumored to be haunted. His friends had begged him not to, warned him about the midnight visitor, but Sam just laughed it off. To him, the visitor was just another scary story to keep kids in bed. The first night was quiet. Too quiet. Sam lay awake feeling something was just off. The creaking of the old wooden floorboards echoed through the house, and every now and then he could hear faint whispers, almost like someone was calling his name. But he shrugged it off, chalking it up to his mind playing tricks on him. At exactly 3:50 a.m., he heard a loud bang from downstairs, like a door slamming shut. Annoyed and tired, Sam grabbed a flashlight and trudged down to investigate. As he walked through the dark, his flashlight flickered, casting long, twisted shadows on the walls. His heart pounded, but he forced himself to laugh, blaming the wind or the old pipes for the noise. In the kitchen, the door to the basement was wide open. A door he was certain he had locked earlier. His hands trembled as he reached for the doorknob to close it, but before he could touch it, something moved in the darkness below. A pair of gleaming eyes stared back at him, reflecting the faint light from his flashlight. They were cold, hollow, almost human, but wrong. Then the lights went out completely. In the pitch-black silence, Sam heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, getting closer. He stumbled back, his mind racing. The legend, the midnight visitor, it couldn't be real, could it? His heart thudded, but he tried to convince himself it was just a prank, maybe a friend messing with him. The footsteps stopped, and a cold breath grazed his neck. He could feel Ida's presence right behind him. He dared not move, hardly dared to breathe. Then, the thing whispered his name in a voice that sounded like shattered glass, fractured and sharp. His blood turned to ice. He felt a hand-cold, skeletal brush against his shoulder. With a scream, Sam turned and ran. He didn't care where he was going, he just needed to get out. But no matter how far he ran, every door he tried was locked, every window sealed shut. It was as if the house itself had come alive, trapping him inside. Desperation took hold, and Sam ran back to his room, locking the door behind him. He hid under the bed, clutching his flashlight, praying for daylight. The clock struck 3:50, and for a moment, there was silence. Maybe it was gone. Maybe he'd imagined the whole thing. Then he felt a hand grip his ankle, yanking him out from under the bed. The flashlight fell from his hands and rolled across the floor, illuminating a face twisted, monstrous, with eyes that seemed to burn with a hatred older than time itself. It was the midnight visitor. The last thing Sam remembered was a scream his own, swallowed by the darkness. The next morning, his friends found the house empty. Sam was gone without a trace, his belongings untouched. All that remained was a single message carved into the wall: "Im waiting." And now, every night at exactly 3:50 a.m., if you listen closely, you might just hear footsteps outside your door.